everybody, for Corey Macklin and Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying good morning, welcome to you right here on the USWA Championship Wrestling. A new look, Dave.
Oh, absolutely, and great action coming up here to go with the new look, too.
Well, some things never change. We always got the unexpected and action here.
You're exactly right. PG-13 in our opening match here today. That should give you some idea of the kind of show that we got. Tommy Rich will be along during the action here today, too. Brian Christopher will be here in action. We'll be looking at Big Daddy Cyrus and Crusher Bones. They've been causing some problems around the USWA. They are here in action today. And the main event, something you don't want to miss, they had the USWA beauty pageant and won by Miss Texas by the vote of the fans.
Yes.
But some other things went on, and Miss Texas has challenged Susan Sapphire to a match right here in the ring today. That match has been signed, and we will have it for you a little bit later on.
Son of a gun, our plate is full, and I mean loaded with it. Got a great crowd here, and right now what we want to do is talking about the unexpected. You never know what's going to happen right here on USWA. That's one of the beautiful things about it. You can always count. It's going to be something different, but there's always something happening. Last week, right here in this ring, we had a unified world heavyweight title defense, the King defending against the Superstar, and let's go back and take a look at that action.
Going after him again.
Boy, he is hammering him with that head. Just taking him in, and Lawler stops him, puts him in, and goes for a pile driver, but referee Bill Rush is on. He put Dundee down with the pile driver as Dundee came back a fourth time to take Lawler out from under, the feet out from under. Count of one, count of two, and Jamie Dundee comes out and grabs the referee's leg. He's hollering at, he's talking about the pile driver, Dave.
Yeah.
Interrupts referee Bill Rush.
Yeah, he's complaining strongly about the pile driver Lawler used on him. Look out, Dundee hooks Lawler down. 1, 2. They got him!
He got him! 1, 2, 3!
A little bit later on, we'll have the new unified champion here, and Lawler will also be here. Stay with us.
Action coming up right here in the ring on USWA Championship Wrestling for our next bout. Making his way to the ring area now, led by Big Business Brown at a weight of 239 pounds, wrestling from Hollywood, California. He's the original grandson of the original Gorgeous George. Here's Gorgeous George III. His opponent today, making his way to the ring at a weight of 229 pounds, wrestling from Atlanta, Georgia, Scott Stud. 1 full 10-minute time limit. Bill Rush, your referee, to Lance Russell, Dave Brown.
Scott Stud, Gorgeous George III. Should be a goodie right here, Dave. We've got a couple of young wrestlers who have already shown their mark in many matches, and they're going to get a chance to do it right here for us today on television.
Has the makings of a great one. Scott Stud in the USWA has really caught the crowd's attention. Gorgeous George, well, you can't help but notice Gorgeous George III when he comes in with all the paraphernalia, and of course, Big Business Brown, briefcase bearing Big Business Brown, camped over in Gorgeous George III's corner.
Big Business was out there spraying and disinfecting the area so his man could be safely set in the corner and ready to get this match started. He's got to have his mind right before he can go.
I suppose that was some sort of disinfectant. It certainly wasn't pest control because Big Business is still here, right?
Score one for the day. Front Chancery with Scott Stud hanging on to Gorgeous George III. I'll tell you something about it. It's hard to really appreciate it when you look at this guy with all of his trappings and the robe and the spray and Big Business and all. But he has quite an amateur background. He was a state champion for 3 years in a row. He also was quite a Greco-Roman wrestler. Whoa, nice kick by Scott Studd. Hooks that arm over and down. Good move. This Studd is one of these aggressive guys who just has success on his mind, Dave, and you can see it in every match. Every match is a big match to him.
He looks like a winner, and I think he's going to be one of the superstars in the business as he continues his career here in the USWA. That's an interesting point you made about Gorgeous George III. A lot of times guys cannot make the transition from the pure Greco-Roman style into professional wrestling, but by golly, he has done a good job of it. And unfortunately for many of his opponents, we don't like a lot of things he does, but he can hold on in there against anybody.
And Studd misses it. George got out of there, and even with the speed that Studd has, he was too slow, and you see what it's brought him. There's that European forearm. Pops him with that uppercut, takes him with that belly to back down on the ring, and Scott Studd in trouble. A cover one, and that's all he got. Hollering at referee Bill Rush about not counting fast enough. As soon as his shoulders hit, he had the 1 count out. He just couldn't hold him down there.
And he followed with a chokehold. That's the sort of thing that gets us upset when we see that sort of thing. Bill Rush checking with Scott Studd now about possibly giving it up. And yes, Gorgeous George III was using the top rope. Gives him a little extra downward pull. There he goes again. He's got that right arm on the top rope. That gives him better downward pressure to hold Scott Studd there.
Gorgeous George III. He's got the look, and when he can, he's got the rope in his hand as he grabs it right there and leans back, and referee Bill Rush sees him and breaks it up. Calls him to the 1, and he comes right back again. Gorgeous George III. Ooh, man, there's that short clothesline. Dutch Mantell used to be a master at that. Absolutely paralyze you because you do not expect it that quickly. And the whip Studd underneath it. Catches him hard with a forearm of his own, and he put George back down. Rips him with the right hand. Nice drop kick from Scott Studd. He's got the leg. 1, 2, and he can't hold him down.
Boy, Scott Studd really needed to take control of the match. That's what he's trying to do. Gorgeous George III had the upper hand. He goes around behind him. He's got him set up here for a possible submission or a sleeper hold. Big Business Brown up on the apron. Oh, look at this. Tommy Rich jumps up onto the ring apron, hammers Scott Studd from behind. He's got that cast on his left hand, and he just smacks Scott Studd with it. And a count of 3 falls. Oh, my goodness.
Well, it's not bad enough. We got the woman beater out here. We already have heard the story on Tommy Rich. He comes out, ends this one with a cast.
Yeah. Not only you come out hitting people's mother, then you come out here interfere. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Hey, you stinking redneck, shut up! I got something I want to say. You know, I've done a lot of things in my time, but I'm sick and I'm tired of coming out here and y'all are making me be the bad guy in this situation. What do you mean?
How do you deny being the bad guy when we've got videotape of you smacking Wolfie D's mother?
Yeah, you've got a videotape that you so conveniently took the spot out where Wolfie D's mama took a hubcap and hit my mama right in the head, Dave Brown. Where's that part of the film?
There is no part of the film there.
Yeah, because y'all cut it out. Y'all cut it out. So I'm telling you right now, I'm not the bad guy in this situation. My mother's a lady. Wolfie D, your street trap mama, puts her hands on my mother again. I'm going to beat your brains out. Your mama ain't nothing but a low-down piece of skull.
Wolfie D comes running out here, clobbers George, then jumps on Wildfire Tommy Rich. Rich leaving the premises as J.C. Ice goes after George.
Wolfie D's got Rich. He grabbed him going through the door. They're out and headed back to the front. Oh, that's it. Hey, there's the picture. They're out in a hallway.
Big Daddy Cyrus, Dave, comes in from behind and nails Wolfie. Big Daddy Cyrus hightailing it back to the dressing room. Tommy Rich hollering, "Get me a chair." He's got a pair of scissors and starts cutting away Wolfie's hair. Rich, J.C. Ice going out to help his partner. Big Daddy Cyrus and Tommy Rich go running out as Wolfie D was waylaid by Big Daddy Cyrus. And when Rich hollered for a chair, he grabbed a pair of scissors from back in the dressing room, and Rich ends up cutting the hair of Wolfie. Man, I'll tell you, it's just, yeah, he did. Just took the scissors and whacked the ponytail right off of Wolfie D. He was mad before after what he did to his mother. He is absolutely furious. We better take time out. We'll be back just a minute. A few days ago in Memphis, Tennessee, we were present at a match that was hair versus hair. That's both members of a tag team. First time we have ever seen it. PG-13 against Wildfire Tommy Rich and Gorgeous George III. It came about as a result of that graffiti match, and son of a gun, you've got to see what happened in that thing. Take a look. Tommy Rich rakes the eyes of J.C. Ice. There's a tag again to Wolfie D, but the referee didn't see it, and back goes Wolfie. Wolfie not going out of there till he gets his licks in, ripping Tommy and Gorgeous George III. Out of the ring goes Tommy. In the ring, Gorgeous George III holding J.C. while the referee's out of there. And there's a cover. J.C. Ice 1, 2, and Tommy Rich gets the referee, Frank Morrell, just before he comes down with the third count. Tommy, pile driver. Which referee, Frank Morrell down? J.C. going after him. And in the back of the head, with a chain or brass knucks, Gorgeous George III covers up J.C. Ice. But the referee is still down. Here comes referee Bill Rush. 1, 2, and JT kicks out right at the last second. Whoa, what a timely kick out for it.
Oh, man, I thought that PG-13 was going to end up ball. Yeah, I thought that was it. Very, very close to 3. Here comes Wolfie D. While Randy Helms and wrestler Scott Snyder out. Yeah, promoter Randy Helms and Scott over. Get referee Frank Morrell out as he took a pile driver. Remember, there is no time limit, no disqualification. Therefore, Rich not disqualified. And a pile driver again. Whoa! Man, oh man. Reverse neck breaker. 2. Wolfie D, only a 2 count. On Rich. Goes to jump the elbow and misses.
But it's a long way from being over with. Wolfie popped back over the ropes and into the ring. Suplexed him right into the middle of the ring. Down to 2, not 3. that eye. Rich pounding him down. And look at Wolfie comes roaring back. Rips Rich down, but here's Gorgeous George. Jumping him while Rich had been knocked backward. There's that cast right in the head. Wolfie D. I don't know what Big Business Brown is saying. Rich DDT took him down. Did you make any sense out of what Big Business was saying? No way. Kind of was. Oh! Wolfie, determined, would not let it go. Gorgeous George kicks him in the ribs again from outside the ring.
This bout has to go down in the wrestling books, Lance, as one of the greatest bouts. Here's a great tag team bout here tonight in Memphis in the Mid-South Coliseum. What a bout, huh?
Absolutely. And Tommy Rich looks like he's going for a pile driver again with a no disqualification. Trying to pick him up. Oh, boy. Wolfie. Low bridged and lifting. Hey, goes to JC. Here comes the battling bantamweight. I mean, he is pouring it off. Wolfie D, inspired by his partner. They whip them into each other. Rich goes down. George the third. PG-13 is dumped on the outside. Rich into the rope. Elbow from JC Ice on Rich. Oh, boy. Tommy buries his head right in the midsection, pulls out a chain, and this may do it in the ring, Corey. He ducks under to JC. Puts Tommy Rich over, wheels him with a hubcap. Here's a cover. Into the ring, Doug Gilbert. What in the world is he doing there? Doug Gilbert would eat the land. Sprayed something on there. We get the whip of it, and he's going after JC Ice while George is beating on the Wolfie D. Bleeding over here. Now George gets the referee back in. 1, 2, 3. He never saw Doug Gilbert. 16 minutes, 38 seconds. The winners, Rich and Gorgeous George III.
16 minutes and 38 seconds. The winners of the bout, coming wall by Rich and Gorgeous George
And Wolfie D, we said if you beat us, then we will shave our head. But everybody in the building knows that you two folks need to be somebody. We will stand up, and we will stand this way. Shave our head. What you say, boy? Huh, boy? You shut your mouth.
I like to see your hair grow.
Well, Corey Mack and Lance Russell at ringside for the hair cutting. And I must say, Lance, a disappointing end to this thing as, well, there was no time and no disqualification, though. And PG-13 will have to get the head shaved. Both of them, JC and Wolfie.
Yeah, JC leading off, and Mr. Guy Coffey putting the Clippers to work. Oh, I would have loved to have seen it if it had gone the other way. See what kind of what kind of sports those guys would have been. Gorgeous George almost had a heart attack at the count of 2, much less if they'd have already lost it. He'd have probably run out and wouldn't have allowed him. J.C. Ice is steaming, but he's man enough to sit there. Shot of most of the hair of J.C. Ice has been taken off. Undergoing what many connected in the wrestling business say is the ultimate indignity, having your head shaved. It's all going now. J.C. Ice. Wolfie, who had the ponytail down the back, and that's what Tommy Rich cut off at the television station. And Guy Coffey finishing up the remaining hair on Wolfie's head. Once again, the winners, thanks to Doug Gilbert. Here they come. Following that match, that hair versus hair match, we headed to the dressing room to get the reaction from PG-13. We'll join the tape as it happened. Hey, guys, Lance, pardon me. All right, we're back. I really hate to kind of get into it after you guys had lost that hair match, but you wanted us back. You said you had something to say. And JC, here we are.
Lance Russell, I've never been so humiliated in all of my life. I want you to take a good look at this. I got to get up every morning and look in the mirror, and I got to see this, Tommy Rich, Doug Gilbert. I saw my daddy bald one time. He had to go out on the street. Everywhere you go, people laugh at you. My mother was bald one time. It's humiliation. It's my pride. It's my heart and my soul. Tommy Rich, I had you beat in the Memphis Coliseum 1, 2, 3, and Doug Gilbert out of nowhere Pearl Harbored me with ether. I threw up in the ring, but I was man enough to stand up and do what I said I would do. And that was, if you beat me, I would shave my head. But you remember one thing, this is far, far from over.
Wolfie, they went for your eye again. They tried to do everything in the world. I gotta be honest, are you sorry you ever agreed to these terms on this match?
Lance, I'm not sorry about anything that I've ever done in professional wrestling. When I first got started, I knew that wrestling was not going to be the easiest path that I could have chosen. But Tommy Rich, this thing with him, Lance, is going a little too far. It started out, he tried to put my eye out.
Yep.
He punched my mother. And now,
first he cut your ponytail off, and then this.
That's right, that's right. He cut my ponytail off. That could have been a plot to make me want to do this. Maybe he knew that I would want to do this kind of match, and maybe he had a plan. But Tommy Rich, I'm just going to tell you, because I know that you're going to see this, Tommy Rich, and I want you to look into these eyes right here. You look in this man's eyes, and I want you to know that this is not going to end until PG-13 puts you three miserable individuals to rest. And I promise, and that's all I've got to say, Lance.
Okay, guys, well, we're going to leave you at it. PG-13, J.C. Ice, Wolfie D, after losing a hair match to Tommy Rich, George III, Doug Gilbert intervened. Brian Christopher comes up in action in just a moment. Boy, last week, a change of titles. this week. Some guys' hair is already, and we're not near done
That's
with the
right.
action
We got a lot
today.
to go.
Dave.
It's,
Whoa.
it's been one of those days, and more coming. Brian Christopher coming in a match here right now, as a matter of fact.
All right, good. I tell you what we want to do. We didn't really get the opportunity with all the things that took place with Brian and with the King and all, was get a chance to talk to the superstar and new unified world heavyweight champ, Bill Dundee. We're going to see if we can get Bill out here, and I'm just going to let him have my chair, give you a chance to talk. 20 years, Bill makes no bones about it. He'd been fighting for this championship, and he won it last week right here. So we want to get him out here, the little Aussie.
Hello, Bill. Come on around. Come on around.
Come on in here, partner, and I'm going to turn.
Showing that belt.
Proud of that belt, I know.
I
And
am.
you got good reason. Go ahead.
Well, thank you.
Have a
There may
seat,
be a
Bill.
little controversy how I won it, but Lance, title matches don't come along very often, and one of them's real hard, and I'll just take it any way I got it.
Well, it was a tough quest, been a long time. Let's talk more about it during the match. Let's let Corey introduce the match, and then, if you will, stay with us during this
Is this
one, all right?
Brian Christopher?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Here's Corey.
We're ready, Dave, with action coming up right now, making his way to the ring area at a weight of 300 pounds from Port-au-Prince, Haiti, Sergeant Victor. His opponent today, 222 pounds. Here he is, too sexy, Brian Christopher. 1 fall, 10 minutes in time. Bill Rush, referee to Dave Brown, along with the unified world champion, superstar Bill Dundee.
Bill, I don't know how much you've seen of this Sergeant Victor. He's a weird one. Brian Christopher, I know you're very familiar with. Young man who has come a long way in a relatively short period of time in the USWA, and I know you've had run-ins with him from time to time. He wears the USWA heavyweight title. You, of course, the unified champion after that long, long quest that Lance mentioned.
Well, hey, I'm just... It's all good, but I can change it the other way. I've never sold you short. I've always said you was a good athlete. Lawler and me's just better ones, that's all. See what I mean about he has a mean streak or bad temper or something.
I don't know. It's hard for me to second guess what he's thinking. I wonder if he's thinking maybe he's being overlooked. When you look at the history that you and Lawler have as partners and as opponents in the ring, maybe he's thinking, okay, I have the USWA heavyweight
Am I the
title.
bell ringer, Dave? Look at me.
Okay, yeah, you want to ring the bell?
How do you
Just
ring
pull
it?
that rope right there. There you go.
All right,
Hey, the
good
champion
job.
can ring the bell, too.
I'm telling you, I couldn't find the string there a minute ago.
Man for all seasons, let me tell you.
I'm telling you. Well, I've never sold Brian Christopher short. He just hasn't been around long enough. It's just like he's a kind of frustrated, like he'd like to be around 10 years, and he hasn't been. Good right hand, I know. I've felt a bunch of them. That's a 250-pound man he knocked down. But I think he's just... See what I mean? Yeah, I seen it, and I said it was a good right hook. I know. I felt enough of them. Just watch your back, and he'll be beating you, and he'll be the champion. See what I mean? He has a little hot temper, a hot streak in him. He gets hot real easy.
Well, I think you may be right. And of course, I know he wants success, which he has enjoyed, and he wants to keep it just as you do, I guess.
Well, everybody wants it, and this is the main thing that you want it for in the U.S. See what I mean about the mean streak? Look, rubbing his face in the thing. That's just intimidation. Yeah, I saw it. Well, we'll see about that, Christopher. You're going to get your chance. And talking about chances, anybody that wants to go at this belt can have a go. I'm going to be, what would you say, a fighting champion? Big Daddy Cyrus, Crusher Bones, Tommy Rich, Doug Gilbert, Gorgeous George, even PG-13. Anybody that wants to wrestle for this belt, just get in touch with the promoter, and I'm going to wrestle.
Well, all right. Well, that's the kind of champion we like to see, someone who will put the belt at stake so that the fans in this area get a chance to see championship matches as often as possible.
And that's right, Lancer, and I'm going to go to all them towns that USWA go. I'm not going to run off to New York like some other champions do sometimes, you know what I mean? He just nicks off whenever he feels like it. You all know who I'm talking about. Get up, fat boy!
Brian Christopher controlling this match. It's been Brian Christopher all the way.
He doesn't want to sell him short. That's a big boy right there. One good right hook. Oh, yeah. See what I I mean? He's just, I don't know, he's just a little hot-headed. But I like what that is, because even Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee was a little hot-headed and up.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? When we first come here.
Well, maybe not just when you first came here. Maybe now there's still a lot of fire there in the King and in Superstar.
That's right. Just because you've been around a while, the fire ain't that. We're kind of like Big George Foreman, brother. We're here forever. And the new set looks nice in the new look, don't it?
I think it looks great. Congratulations to the folks that have come up with that. Look at this, Sergeant Victor.
Yes, sir. See what I mean? That Sergeant Victor, he's a big old boy, 250 pounds. The biting may not get you too far, but... And here's another thing. If he gets Brian Christopher mad, he's going to just feel something. I've never sold Brian short, ever. Said he was a good athlete. I just don't think he's in the class of the Superstar or the King. He just hasn't been around long enough, and that's what's frustrating. There's no real history. And like George Foreman, he's been around 20 years, and he won the heavyweight belt again. You don't always do it on just youth and enthusiasm. You do it on, you wait till the guy makes a mistake. Brian just charges in, and he makes more mistakes, but he's still a good athlete. But I think he may come out on top. That super kick he's got is a real good weapon. I think we're going to see a little bit here. No clothesline, missed. Well, whoa!
Side kick.
Saw it right on the chin. Yeah, I saw it. It looked good. See, to me, I would have covered him right there, but he's going to do. You can make a mistake here. That weight, if he falls back, his knee goes out. He had him beat with a super kick. I guess he's showing me a lesson. Yeah, I figured it may be. That's his chewing gum, nasty boot. What's that stuck on the desk?
Oh, off the top rope.
A lot of good offensive weapons. Yeah, that's fine.
He got it. It's over.
Never said he wasn't good. Well, Dave, it's a pleasure sitting out here with you. And I appreciate you inviting us out. And like I said, wherever you see the Superstar in this belt, I'll be here.
Bill, some insightful comments. I enjoyed having you here for the commentary. I think you made some excellent points. I do know that you'll be looking at Brian Christopher down the road.
Oh, yeah, and the King and anybody else that wants to go with this belt, Dave, even you want to get in there.
I think I'll pass on that.
Right,
I'll just watch it. We'll be back here with more from the USWA in a moment. Stay with us.
I'll ask him.
Man. We'll finally got him out of here. Oh, boy. Hey,
I got to tell you, it's just... it's great for the fans, and I mean, I love it, except on the television show here. These guys just absolutely tear it up when they're in the same location. And yet they've all got respect, I think, for
each other. Yeah, but boy, when that adrenaline starts flowing, those three, it is something else around here. Wow.
Flashback time,
yes,
Brother
indeed.
Dave.
Couple of heavyweights.
Yes, sir.
Terry Taylor. I think most fans know him. He's still wrestling. Phil Hickerson, also someone that all the fans know. For a while wrestled as P.Y. Chu-Hi, but Phil Hickerson was going against Terry Taylor, the international heavyweight title.
This goes back to the 80s. Let's go for a USWA flashback. Misses. Taylor in the air. Atomic knee. They bang heads, and Hickerson down over him. The referee's still down. Hickerson is counting, but that does no good. Jerry Calhoun, the referee, now up on one knee. Once again, Taylor. Boy, he popped him down hard as he slipped to the side and suplexed him. Hickerson rolls over one. Taylor's foot on the rope. But the referee didn't see it. I think that's going to be it, Randy.
One fall, 10-minute time limit for this next bout. First introducing 224 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee. Here is T.D. Steele. His opponent making his way to the ring area now at a weight of 326 pounds from the open roads of the USA. Here is Big Daddy Cyrus. Lance Russell.
So-called tough guys around here. How come they can't even muster up enough guys for a tag team for Big Daddy Cyrus and Crusher Bones?
Hey, I don't know what...
Where's all the competition?
Well, you'll find out. You'll get some competition when you get in the ring.
Get him, Big Daddy!
T.D. Steele giving away a lot of of size to Big Daddy Cyrus, I can tell you. He's a scrapper.
TD fired into the ropes. Oh, big clothesline by Big Daddy Cyrus. Big Daddy upset. Crusher Bones is over in the corner. I don't like having him out here. This is a single match. Crusher Bones is not part of a tag team. It is Big Daddy Cyrus against TD, and whether Big Daddy Cyrus likes it or not, that's the way the match is booked.
Big elbow really put TD down hard. Big Daddy Cyrus roughing him up now. Rips him with that right hand right in the eyes, and again, TD trying to fight his way back. Whipped across the ring. Oh, took one shot right smack from that foot. Big Daddy drops down with a big elbow. 1 and a 2 and a 3. Well, he did what he said he was going to do. He got in there and did it hard. I'm amazed that he got TD that quickly.
Didn't take him long at all.
Look at that.
Well, unnecessary. Big Daddy Cyrus has proved he can win the match and win it handily. Now Crusher Bones jumps in.
They keep in there with TD Steele and pound on him. We'll get some help out here. In the meantime, we're going to take a break and be back. Last week we had the Miss USWA pageant right here on television. Well, when it was all over, it didn't turn out exactly the way that Miss Texas had thought it would. Let's take a look at the tape.
Congratulations.
All right, let us make the presentation of these gorgeous roses. A good battle and a one well.
Oh, look out.
Whoa. Oh, no. Nothing like poor losers. Reggie, you're behind this. You're the one that got it. They didn't rig anything. We let the people vote on it. Get her out of here. Susan Sapphire and Sweet Georgia Brown jumping on Miss Texas. Yeah, that's what happened after your victory right here.
Last week, I didn't get a chance to thank the fine people for their support on winning the beauty contest. See, last week, Sweet Georgia Brown and Susan Sapphire came out and destroyed the beauty pageant, the celebration. See, today I got Susan Sapphire in the ring today, but I won't be satisfied. I won't be satisfied until I get rid of them both.
A hit for Miss Texas. Let's go to Corey.
All right, Lance Russell, we're ready to go with the main event today on USWA Championship Wrestling. It is a ladies' match right here today to the expiration of our time. First introducing from Dallas, Texas, here is Miss Texas. And her opponent making her way to the ring area from Louisville, Kentucky, Susan Sapphire. Bill Rush is your referee for this ladies' match to my buddies Lance and Dave.
We're about set to go. Susan said, oh, sweet Georgia Brown I see in the studio, too. I don't like the look for that.
I got a few things I want to say because Miss Texas is the ugliest person that I've seen in a long time. And that's the only thing that I can't deal with about Miss Texas. Now, another thing I can't deal with is the lies. That's one thing I will not tolerate, Dave. I can't deal with the lies. Miss Texas' mother is out there in the audience, and she's just as big. There she is over there. She's so big it take her 2 hours to wash her butt. And let me tell you one thing about Susan Sapphire. She's very beautiful. She's pretty. She's going to go a long way in the business. She has a lot of potential. But Miss Texas, I don't know what to say about her because I've never seen nothing that ugly. And another thing about me, I like to thank the people that chose me for Miss USWA. It's something that I've always dreamed of doing ever since I've been in the business.
Wait a minute. Wait. You can come out here and express your opinion. For one thing, I'd like you to keep in mind that you did not win Miss USWA.
USWA?
No.
That's not right.
Oh, come on.
That's not right.
The fans voted.
To the bottom of it, we know who the real winner of USWA pageant is.
Yeah, we do, because the fans voted. They selected Miss Texas.
No, they didn't. That thing was fixed. Because I saw the envelope when they were on their way out here. My name was on the inside of the envelope. And one thing I do want to say, too, is for her to come out here and lie and fix the thing and do whatever she had to do to win the pageant, that's one thing I will not tolerate. Now, I hate Miss Texas, and I will say again, I'll hate her until the day I run her out of Memphis.
Well, it's going to be interesting because she's got Susan Sapphire in the ring right now, and Miss Texas has a match set up with Sweet Georgia Brown coming up.
There she goes. Sweet Georgia Brown jumping in the ring. Miss Texas, after a beautiful monkey flip followed by a drop kick, had Susan Sapphire ready for the road, and Sweet Georgia Brown jumps right in.
Now they leave Miss Texas, Georgia Brown, and Susan Sapphire leave the ring. Now there'll be more to that one later on.
Disqualification, Miss Texas win. We'll be back in a minute. Be still, my heart.
Oh,
what
man.
kind of day? We have had it. We still got some action to go.
We have Tommy Rich. Can't leave well enough alone. I mean, he hits Wolfie D's mother, then he grabs a pair of scissors, cuts Wolfie D's hair right here at the television station today, and that's not the half of it.
No, we get out here, and we're doing an interview with Jerry Lawler, and Jerry gets Bill Dundee out to find out why he hadn't gotten his title match. Before you know it, Brian Christopher's out here, and the next thing we got World War III gone.
Free for all.
I mean to tell you.
And then you got Miss Texas in a match. She's challenged Susan Sapphire to a match, says she wants to take care of Susan Sapphire, and then wants to take care of Sweet Georgia Brown. Sweet Georgia Brown comes out here and keeps complaining about this and that during the match, jumps into the ring, and that ends up in a free-for-all.
Oh, I don't know whether we can stand anymore, but we're going to try. You better believe it. We love it every week. When that action comes your way, unexpectedly or otherwise, right out of the USWA. Listen, speaking of the USWA, this is not the only place. Just about anywhere USWA goes, you can book it. Big-time action is going to be happening. Why don't we see what's been happening around the territory?
Good idea.
Hello?
Something on there. We get the whip of it, and he's going after J.C. Ice while George is beating on the Wolfie D. Bleeding over here. Now George gets the referee back in. 1, 2, 3. He never saw Doug Gilbert. Kind of sports those guys would have been. Gorgeous George almost had a heart attack at the count of 2. Much less if they had already lost it. He'd have probably run out.
That's why you don't want to miss a second of USWA action, right?
As a matter of fact, I'm sure looking forward and hoping to the opportunity when we can get to your town with the cameras and show it right here on USWA in action on tour. Yeah, we got to get out of here, son of a gun. We have used up the time. And for Corey Macklin, Dave Brown, this is Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of USWA Championship Wrestling.